the GO train line. So there is that potential to connect. And as I said, if you just look at Carling Avenue in terms of residential, in terms of commercial, I mean, how many shopping malls we have along there? We've got Westgate, we've got Carlingwood, we've got goes right up to the shore. We have high-rise buildings along there, but there's still potential for growth. We've got 2 hotels along, hotel-type properties along there. So many opportunities for intensification, because that's what transit is all about. It's building where you can have transit nodes, where you can move people, where people live, work. You've got the hospital along there, we hope to keep it along there. Civic Hospital, but whatever happens with the Civic Hospital, the campus will be there for some time to come. So we do have, we have a great corridor that we can utilize, and we own it. Nobody else owns it. City law owns it. So why not do that? Yes?
You were talking about the O train going south, and there seems to be some layout also about the O train going north across the river and alleviating some of that.
Absolutely. Go right across the Prince of Wales Bridge, which we own. And that was raised, there was a group called Friends of the O Train, but very Transport 2000, very dedicated rail people who have volunteered many years of their time actually in bringing forward the O Train. And they've done many presentations to the committee and to the city as to how we can work and build that further. But for some reason there's a real aversion to it. The other element, I think one of the things that I think was raised at one time was the federal regulations involving heavy rail, because it's like diesel rail, but it's still on the heavy rail track. So there is I guess what the city would like to see is getting away from under that umbrella of the regulatory body that the federal government that you have to be under by staying with that rail system. So if you move to an electric rail system, then you're not burdened by that. So I think that's one of the elements that why they don't want to go forward. But to me, that's very short-term thinking. You have that opportunity to extend the O train, to take it over to the Quebec side, and they said, well, the Quebec side's not, on board with us there. It doesn't really matter. You can force those discussions to happen through the federal government, because there is a transit agreements between provinces that needs to be honored, and we do it through the bus service with STO and OC Transport, so we certainly can do it with the O train.
Why is it not happening? It seems to me to be a very quick solution to some real problems.
I agree. That was my proposal, but for some reason they seem not to want to go that route. I don't know. I wish I could be, because it's certainly what I've been promoting, but yes.
As someone who lives on the Carling Avenue proposed route, I'm all in favor.
Thank you.
We may feel that there could be people who are not, but having lived in San Jose, California, where they have electric transport in the middle, in the median, Carling Avenue lends itself to that absolutely beautifully. And it's not a noisy system, and it's certainly serviceable. Here's a resident's goal.
Well, thank you. Are there any other questions? I'm just going to ask this lady back there in the red.
How far east are you going to go with the transit?
The current plan right now looks at only going to Blair Station. And, to me, the Blair Station also, to be fair, the East End has quite a large ridership. It is probably the highest, what they call transit modal split, where you have the highest, I believe it's almost at 34%. The city target for the transit modal split is 30% of the population on public transit or some other form of transportation. The Blair Station right now, we have 14,000 transfers if you take a bus like from Orleans to Blair, which is huge. And I don't believe they have the capacity at the Blair Station nor the opportunity to build a bigger station there. So it is problematic, and but right now that's the only recommendation, is to go I don't see that as a good use of the dollars. And even to get to Blair, you're probably looking at about 2015. Yes?
I live in Barcade, and there's a large RCMP population will be there in next year or so. So, is it going to be servicing that neighborhood or that area?
No. The current plan doesn't serve South right now.
Only coming?
No, it doesn't even serve Carmen. Right now, what the plan does is start looking at the environmental assessment for the town and going to Blair Station. But as I said, we won't see any rail with the plan that they currently have until 2015. Right now, the first work that will be done as being proposed right now is busway, is the extension of the busways. I just, yes. Yes, you.
We may have the highest ridership for Orleans, but we also have 36,000 cars a day that go on the Queensway to go into the 174 that I remind everybody narrow down to one lane as we try to get into the city. And the buses that take that 34% of ridership into Ottawa all go downtown. So if you did make the train go all the way out to Trim Road, then you would cut down the congestion in downtown from the buses, and you would also take a lot of those 36,000 cars off the road. So you wouldn't need to spend the money to build the infrastructure to make the road wider.
Absolutely.
We also do that.
Absolutely.
We also want to bring business out to Orleans so those people don't even want to go.
Exactly.
However, my question is, when are the councillors all going to agree on one plan? I mean, we've seen transit discussed almost as long as the bridge across the river. So when are we going to have a decision? Someone has to say, we have to do this or we'll be flying. There'll be planes and helicopters instead of cars. So when is somebody going to say, 8 years there'll be a new mayor, there may be new councillors? When are we going to make a decision?
I would say that, first of all, you have to get your heads out of the ward sand, okay? You can't be about, well, coming down, my ward is going to service my ward. It's not about the ward. It's about the city and servicing the city. And it's an unfortunate situation where you have that divide, where there are councillors who say, we don't really care, we're just not we get it going. And those of us are the ones who are really out of the court. We really, the way, even from my perspective, I mean, I'm well served in terms of the transit way. I mean, in Ruston Air, it's not about my ward. It's about what's the best, quickest way to deliver rail to the city. And the plan that I'm hoping I'm working with another councillor to bring forward. So hopefully we will get some support and some credibility in terms of we have to look at it from a city level, and we have to stop looking at building roads and extending roads and building more bus, because we just don't have the capacity in the downtown core to bring buses to downtown. We don't have any more money to keep sustaining this kind of infrastructure as well, because it's very expensive. So we do have to change how that council thinks. And it has to be not what's in it for me, it's got to be what's in it